In my country, I was an engineer, but even professionals in Cuba live miserably. Now I've emigrated to Spain and I'm trying to validate my degrees here. I mean, to be able to work as an engineer at some point. But it's not as easy as I thought. It's quite a difficult process and I wonder what's going to happen to my future. Will I be able to make it? Stay in this video to clear up your doubts. Hello my beautiful people, I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to my channel. If you can't tell, I just woke up. Or maybe you can. As you read in today's title, today I'm going to take you, well, I plan to do it today, but I don't know if I'll actually be able to do it today. I'm planning to get my university degree validated since I finally have it here after so long. So, well, it's time to keep taking small steps to move forward little by little here in Spain. In case you didn't know, my name is Anita Mateo. I'm a Cuban living in Spain, and maybe you didn't know this, but I'm an industrial engineer. I have a popular video from my time in Cuba about my engineering salary. I'll leave it here. Watch if you're interested. Well, I look a little bit messy, so I'm going to make breakfast quickly and then we'll continue with the video. By the way, subscribe, like, and comment because I actually give hearts to all your comments. Just check the videos. I reply to most comments, so the family keeps growing and YouTube boosts me in the algorithm. Make myself breakfast, and I'll continue explaining a little more about this process and how I'm going to do it, and how I managed to bring my degrees from Cuba all the way here. And well, there are many people who might want to go through this same process of validating their degrees or who are simply curious about it. Can I work as an engineer in Spain if I'm an engineer in Cuba? I'll quickly share how I brought my degrees from Cuba to Spain as if I were still in Cuba. Well, imagine that I send my degrees to be legalized because they have to be legalized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That is, your degree, your transcripts, and the syllabus, which is like the plan of the subjects you had during your studies. So then, to see what it is similar to in Spain or something like that. In Cuba, before moving to Spain, I remember it was several months earlier. I arrived in November, almost a year ago now. And since July. I sent my diplomas to be legalized at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to try to bring them with me because supposedly it would only take a month. But what happens? What processing documents? Also with this democratic memory law, people are becoming Spanish citizens. This law has overwhelmed the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, causing significant delays. My paperwork took 5 months, which means that in the end I had to come to Spain without my diplomas, without my documents, without absolutely anything. About 5 months later, when they were ready, I needed someone to bring them to me in Spain. And just recently they managed to bring them to me and now I have them here. It's just that I hadn't started the process of validating them yet.
But this week, yes, I'm gonna get started on that because, that also costs some money.
That takes a process and, well, I'm gonna show them to you. Here they are. And well, look, here is my university degree. Everyone, this is my degree. And so, come here. These are like all the stamps and things you have to put on them in Cuba before bringing it here so you can get it validated. And, well, the other thing they also ask for is the grades and the syllabus, which is the course plan, and all of this also needs to be legalized. I mean, look, here are all the subjects I took in my degree. The highest grade is 5, and I finished with 4.22, so it's not that bad. This is like all the subjects I took in my degree, what I took in my first year, the basic knowledge I acquired, the basic skills to master, and so on. And this is with each of the subjects I took in my degree. Now, as you can see, that thematic plan is up, so we can look for it. Which degree? Is it the same here in Spain? I had to wait around 4:30 when some of these businesses that scan and print open. Since they close at noon, they start at 4:30. So I'm going to look for the one that's closest to me to scan it, and I'm also going to withdraw money at the bank because I never have money on me, never. Okay, this is the main street here in town. I mean the street with all the bars, and it's literally empty. And there's no one here. A lot of businesses closed today, which is Monday. I already went and scanned all the documents. The next step, well, I have to see, is to go pay the fee at the bank. But I'm still researching. My friend is helping me to look into it. If what I have to do is homologate or if it's the other thing, which is like the equivalency. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I'm sure you're all watching and wondering, Anita, are you planning to practice your profession in Spain? First of all, I'm very happy that here in Spain, well, I can validate my degree in whatever way possible. In the end, that's how it was. Those 5 years were important to me as I studied a degree I genuinely enjoyed, but I don't like it as much as process management. I actually prefer the marketing side and those things, which are also related to what I studied, advertising, marketing. And if I worked in the future, I would like to be able to work in something like that, although I would work in anything because I'm not afraid to work in whatever comes my way. I've done many things in life, though I haven't been a hairdresser or worked in cafes. You don't realize how little you know about my life. You see me now on YouTube, but before YouTube I had to do a lot of things and work really hard because I never had anything. And well, YouTube was what saved me. And I say it saved me because it was what got me out of Cuba. If I had stayed in my career in Cuba and never started my YouTube channel to share my life there, I would still be in Cuba. Honestly, my career wasn't going to save me. What saved me was this, getting to know you and you getting to know me. That's why I have so much affection and appreciation for my YouTube channel. It's something I worked really hard on. It's something I love, something I care about. If I ever stop making YouTube videos for any reason, I know it won't last forever. I'm fully aware of that maybe at some point I'll look for something else to do, but well, even if I wanted to, right now I can't. I'm waiting because I don't have my work permit yet. I was telling you that, well, in the end, my degrees were 5 years invested, quite a few years of my life, and well, I would like to have them recognized. To have the chance to build a career in Spain someday, because ultimately, it's not the same. I say that if you studied in your country, wherever you studied, and you go to another country to start from scratch, but do you have the possibility to have your degrees recognized at some point? Do it. It's something you have even if you don't use it. For now, it's there. In the end, those years weren't wasted, even though I sometimes felt like I studied for 5 years for nothing and felt really bad and sad. At least when I was practicing my profession in Cuba, which I did for 2 years, it didn't bear any fruit. I used to think I wasted 5 years, but now I see it as a new opportunity in Spain. To apply what I learned here, continue learning, and keep moving forward. I enjoy studying and constantly setting new goals and challenges for myself. Think about it, I've only been in Spain for a year. It's like I just have 1 year of life now. I've been born again, and obviously in just 1 year I can't do everything, I can't be everywhere. I have to do 1,000 things to be able to stay in this country the right way and do things properly. And of course 1 year isn't enough. I'll keep telling you, and once my degree is validated, maybe I can practice here. I'll tell you how everything went and how long it took, though I'm not sure exactly, but I think it took a while. I'll put it here while I check online how long it takes after submitting the documents and the approximate cost. Well, here's Phoebe. I'm here in the park. I brought her out for a while. And well, I'm heading home now, because it's already getting dark. It's getting dark a little earlier, and wow, I'm so cold. I only put on this jacket, and I think I'm going to have to wear something warmer, because honestly, I'm feeling cold. Well, after a few days of research, I've realized that the process isn't as easy as it seems, and now I'm going to explain why. First of all, you need to know whether your degree needs to be validated or if you need to get an equivalency. Now I'm going to explain what each one is, because in my case, I had to research it to know what I needed to do. Validation officially recognizes foreign university degrees as valid in Spain. An example of this would be doctors and other professions. This includes my profession, industrial engineering. To learn more about this topic, I joined a Telegram group someone shared. I'm going to leave the link in the description, and in the pinned comment, it's a Telegram group for engineering and architecture. The procedure you need to follow to validate it or get the equivalency here in Spain. If you're interested, I've spent time asking questions and researching there. They share all the laws, I'll leave it for you. You know what's required for your profession. So what is equivalency? Equivalency allows your higher education to be recognized as equivalent to a degree here in Spain. But this doesn't allow you to practice it. So to practice, what you would need to do is a homologation. In my case, my degree. I can do both things, an equivalency and a homologation. Right now I can do both if I want, but for me it's better. I would prefer to do a homologation that allows me to obtain it. If that degree is valid here in Spain, can I also practice it at some point? What about industrial engineers in Cuba? There's a saying that industrial engineers know a little bit about everything, but we don't go in depth on any topic. It's been tough since I've already realized this based on the regulations and what I've read, that I can't validate my industrial engineering degree from Cuba to the same industrial engineering degree here in Spain because of what's going on. That in Spain it's divided into two. According to what I researched, the technical industrial engineer degree is 4 years of study, and the industrial engineer degree is also 4 years of study. Plus a master's degree, so I'm missing those years. I can't validate my industrial engineering degree. I was actually in that WhatsApp group on Telegram and saw how many industrial engineers participated. The validation. Industrial engineering in Spain is being denied due to missing credits, but technical industrial engineering is accepted. I have many more credits in common. You have to have at least 75% of the same credits. So I started looking at my study plan to see the subjects I took the most, the subjects and the credits they require from you. In the industrial technical engineering program, they match well, though I'm missing a bit. I already told you that only a 75% match is needed for approval. Therefore, it turns out that I won't be able to be an industrial engineer here in Spain unless, well, I don't know, I keep studying. It could be an equivalency, keep studying, and maybe at some point do the validation. I'm already taking a course similar to business administration, which is my goal. You know what happens? In the first 3 years of our degree, we took subjects equivalent to industrial technical engineering in Spain, and in the last 2 years, we studied marketing, human resources, and business management. We covered topics similar to business management and administration, but it's not fully either one. So that's why I've had a lot of doubts about what to do the validation for, although from what I've been reading based on my curriculum, what it actually resembles the most is industrial technical engineering because we studied processes, physics, operations, research, simulation, a lot of things that I think are similar. And I have a lot more credits corresponding to what would be industrial technical engineering. That's it. I'm telling you, you need to look closely because even industrial engineers at each university, including many from Latin America in that group I mentioned, are also doing research. You need 75%. If you don't study the competencies, I'll leave them for you. Joining the Telegram group just to compare it with your study plan wastes your time and money. Be sure to check if your chosen degree has the same value in Spain, even if it shares the same title. Saying you're an industrial engineer doesn't guarantee you'll do the same in Spain, as the study plan may differ significantly. Just because your degree says engineer, mechanical engineer, or something similar in your country doesn't mean it will be the same in Spain. You need to research thoroughly or risk wasting time and money. When I began the video, I knew nothing. I thought it would be simple, but after researching, I realized it's not that easy. And while I'm talking about regulated professions, in my case, it's a regulated industrial profession, industrial engineering, this process won't be easy. If you're experiencing this or curious, now you know. I, in my ignorant view, since I didn't know anything, thought it was going to be super easy, and I found out it wasn't. I need to review the competencies, which is very important. And if not, well, you can do an equivalency, but equivalencies don't give you professional qualifications. This means that just because you do an equivalency, you won't be able to work here later. Not with that degree. Should you do the homologation? Look, for example, I was reading some experiences here. In this case, a woman named Karen says that she submitted her application to homologate her degree obtained in Venezuela in industrial engineering to homologate it as a technical industrial engineer. What is it that I'm telling you? She got an unfavorable response because they noted deficiencies in some modules, suggesting she hasn't studied them. In that case, some people get denied, but I was reading my professional qualifications and honestly, they're very similar to that degree here in Spain. So I'm afraid they might deny it. I don't know if I should submit it, honestly. I'm not 100% sure about doing it. Anyway, I have someone who told me that here in many companies, you can present your degree even if it's not officially recognized. And if you can show that you have the knowledge, you can work in that position anyway. I have friends who have done it. The thing is, obviously you won't get paid like an engineer, you know? And so this is the case for industrial engineers in Cuba and, well, maybe in some other Latin American countries too. I'm telling you, it depends on your career, lawyer, psychologist, or anything else. It's a completely different situation, but the process is more or less the same. You have to look at the professional competencies and all that. Now, they told me there's a place called the Metropolitan Forum here in Coruña where I'm going to make an appointment to go and have them advise me. I just looked it up while recording this video, which is crazy. It's a huge mess because I've been looking all week and I haven't gotten an answer. From the real experience of someone who has had their industrial engineering degree recognized, I don't know an answer. If you are that person, please leave me a comment if you have any advice for me. I'm going to go this week, so next I'm going to the Metropolitan Forum. I'm still recording this video to see if I get an answer and can help those of you who have questions. Also with this, because I don't want to end this video without an official answer, I want to have the answer and be able to know if I can or can't validate my degree and what I can do, because that's the purpose of this video. So it's been super hard for me to record this, so well, I'll see you in a day when I go to the famous forum. Let's see what they tell me. Here in the editing. I was editing this video and I realized that when I was watching it, I started recording. Autumn was just starting and now it's December and winter. So what happened? Anita still hasn't done anything with the title. Because, well, I'm not sure. What am I going to say? If there's someone who can help me in the comments, I think this video, rather than advising you though, I think I cleared up many of your doubts. I also need help. I went to the Metropolitan Forum and called them, but they told me basically the same thing. They sent me an email and gave me another place I could go to get advice. When I call that other place, they send me an email and say, well, look, this is the regulation you have to follow, which will explain what you have to do. I had already read that document in the Telegram group. It was the same one. To this day, I still think industrial technical engineering is the most fitting degree. Another thing they told me that you can do and that I advise to people who are in the same situation, who might not really know what to do or which degree they should pursue. The validation process, because they're afraid of losing money, I don't know, for whatever reason. They can validate their high school diploma. This is another thing that's very feasible and very good. They can validate their high school diploma, and with that validated diploma in Spain, you can take vocational training in whatever you want, you know? Or study something else. Although vocational training isn't like a university degree because it's a bit shorter. Actually, what I'm studying is vocational training, but I think it's more for private businesses or something like that. I need to research whether what I'm studying will be useful for me in Spain after I graduate. And while here I was editing this video and a few months have gone by, I'll explain how the process of validating your degree in Spain works for those unfamiliar with it. I think you need to have your digital certificate. Here you can check the file. You have to go to the electronic office of this place, and there's also an option here to access the procedure. Access with username, access with password. Okay, I have a digital certificate. Access with password on my digital certificate is with my password. Electronic certificate. I would do it with this one. Here I have my information, I have it. I hope they can't be seen. And well, that's it. Here you would have to fill all this out, 166.50 euros, and here you select the payment method. And that's it, folks. Right here in this same place, you can do the homologation process here. And then there's an option to check your file, which would be here. Let's see, where were we before? Check your file right there. And well, that's it. I think I'm going to go for technical industrial engineering, and if they deny me, if it's not correct, they should explain why, so you can find another solution, but I think you already lose the money. I think I'll go that way. When I decide, that's how I'll do it. If I learn more, I'll update you in another video. Honestly, industrial technical engineer is closest to what I studied in Cuba. If there's any Cuban industrial engineer. Not all countries have the same experiences, and we don't all study the same subjects at university. Well, I would appreciate your comments. Please write to me on Instagram. And well, I'm going to finish this video now because it has been very difficult to record. Things didn't go as I expected. At the start of the video, I was so motivated thinking, yes, I'm about to get my diploma. Yeah, months haven't even gone by. And I'm not 100% sure, look at the microphone, there, I hope, that this was heard well. And I'm not 100% sure because I haven't had a real experience until now. Doctors, if there are a million doctors certifying and more or less, they all know each other and know that if someone is a doctor, they're a doctor here too. An industrial engineer may not always be just that, and the same goes for a mechanical engineer. It's a different process. Since I don't know anyone who can confirm, I'm just in the Telegram group I mentioned, so I'm unsure. I'll go with technical industrial engineering and validate it that way. If it turns out unfavorable, then I'll find out why it's unfavorable, what I'm missing, and if I have to take a course, then I'll take it. And that's it, folks. That's my answer for you. And another thing I might do is validate my high school diploma, and I'm taking a vocational training course. And if not, well, I don't know. It's complicated. And I hope that despite all the chaos that has happened, I hope this video has been useful to you in some way so you can see that things aren't that easy. These processes, or at least my own experience, which I'm sharing. This channel is about being real and sharing experiences. Things aren't always perfect or go as planned. And that's it. See you next Friday with a new video. Leave your thoughts below. I read every comment. Subscribe, like, comment, and all that. See you next Friday. And today, I have some very important news in my life and in my journey as a migrant. I won't share it with you yet, but I will soon. I got caught up in that other news and set the titles aside for a while, but I'll do them now. See you. I'm sending you a big kiss.